Memories. Memories.
Water is the softest and most yielding substance, yet nothing is better than water for overcoming the hard and rigid, because nothing can compete with it. Lao Tzu.
Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight new wave. Name straight new wave.
All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome back. We're here with some more CGL playoff action today. We've got a matchup in round one of our NA console open tier playoffs between the Yellow Yetis and Sublime. I'm joined by Dexatron. How you feeling, Dex?
Man, I am feeling good. These are two good teams. Sublime comes in here with a 5-3 record in the playoffs, while Yellow Yetis come in with a really strong 7-1 record. Looking at this matchup here, it does look like it should be a very close series between these two here tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. I mean, I think this is the closest I've seen it thus far. You know, in the gap between people, I think this could be one of the best round one matches that we're gonna see. At least one of the closest round one matches. Sublime, you know, a little bit worse of a record, 5-3. Yellow Yetis obviously had a very, very good regular season. So I'm looking forward to potentially a pretty good game.
Yeah, absolutely. But when you start looking a little bit deeper into these teams' lineups here, what they kind of like to run, the Sublime team tells us they like to run a rush kind of comp, but their one tank that I believe is their starting tank does like to play the Sigma. That's their only tank on the roster. Their most played hero is Sigma, and their favorite tank to play is Sigma. So I won't be surprised if we see a lot of Sigma from Sublime. When you look at Yellow Yeti's roster, I mean, they like to play Brawl, but their favorite or their most played hero in that one is Wrecking Ball, which would be really interesting to see try to run a Brawl comp with that. But I feel like we're going to see the Rhine or Orisa come out from Yellow Yetis because of how strong they are at the moment.
And Sigma, I mean, really, really good at tank pick, especially right now. So, you know, coming into stride at the right time, I guess. The meta shaping up for these teams, both Reinhardt and Sigma, very, very, very usable right now. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see that come out from both these teams. You know, the poke pretty strong recently. We do have our first map pick. It will be Lijiang Tower, so it's going to lean more towards the Brawl.
Yeah, but personally, I think Lijiang Tower is a great map to start a series on. You can see a lot of different playstyles come out across all three sub-maps here on Lijiang Control Center. Yeah, you definitely expect to see the Brawl Gardens. Maybe you see something a little bit faster, maybe something like a rush comp, like what Sublime likes to play. And then you head to Night Market, and that's a completely kind of different map. You can see Brawl, you can see Rush, you can see Dive, you can see Poke come out there, which does lean into that Sigma play as well. So, like I said, a map that is very flexible with your comps, because almost every comp can kind of work on this map.
Yeah, I mean, you expect to see the Reinhardt, I think, on something like Control Center. But the other two maps are a little more open on Gardens. You could easily run a Dive. It doesn't have that, you know, high ground control, but that doesn't really matter. It's very wide open, and if you're able to jump on some people, you know, it's possible. But because of that, also that wide open area on Garden, you could also run the Poke, the Sigma, the Orisa. And then on Night Market, I kind of lean more towards the Reinhardt or the Brawl again, but I think a Sigma could also be a good shout on Night Market.
Yeah, and you know, especially at Night Market and Gardens, you do have to kind of, you know, be wary of those edges on the map. Yeah, it's there on Control Center, but you normally don't see anyone get real too close to falling off the map. Night Market and Gardens, where we'll be starting off on Night Market, again, you have a lot of open area, a lot of cliffs near the point here, and you know, we'll see the average like knockoff there, maybe a boop, maybe a javelin, maybe just a player accidentally walking off the edge here. But you know, as you see the teams come out here, you see Yellow Yetis, they like to run that Brawl comp. That is what they are showing us. Sublime, they said they like to run Rush, but Aurora does love Sigma. That is their favorite tank. Not surprised they're coming out with it. And when you look further down the line, supports, I would not expect to see any other supports on this map. The Lucio and the Baptiste right now are strong supports. Seeing the Bastion come out from each side is not a surprise either. A lot of damage can come out from those heroes. Anho and Apple right now are the only differences right now. Anho coming out on the Mei. And Mei has been really strong recently. Apple, you know, they want to try to get the point fast here. You're going to see the TP up to that window, and they're going to try to get set up on point and force Sublime to, you know, engage them in the fight.
Yeah, and it will be Yellow Yetis getting to the point first with that teleporter from Apple. You know, taking a little bit of damage. There's a lot to take from Sublime at the moment. So playing a little bit safer on the outside of the point, waiting for it to unlock before they actually try to fight. They're going to TP behind them, try and get a bit of a jump on the back side of Sublime. Sublime is going to take the first cliff, and J-Man is more than happy to sit down in that wheels form and pump the damage in, and it's going to be Angelic that's going to take down Apple for the first pick, and the rest of Sublime will put Yellow Yetis down, and that will be the first fight for Sublime. Ooh.
Ooh, so close, but so far away from escaping back there. And yeah, they tried to do the London Spitfire play there, teleport to the backline, maybe try to find a couple kills, but you immediately see what Yellow Yetis does. Yellow Yetis does after losing that fight there. You see Apple go over to the May, Winter going over to the Soldier now. They want to play for picks. They want to try to section people off with Apple and that Ice Wall. So it's going to be really interesting. But Skyla, with that Ant Mitch ready to go, you're going to probably see him use it early. Same thing for Hammershank as well.
Yeah, a couple of bolts are building up really close here for the Yellow Yetis and Sublime. Both windows are used. Futaba drops the sound barrier to make the Yellow Yetis a lot more durable. And with that, they're going to hold forward, and they're going to take down two. The swings of Judge's hammer are going to do everything right here. A great wall there from Apple, and that will be Sublime taking their flip.
Yeah, and you saw that Ice Wall come out there from Apple. It sectioned off Aurora away from Angelic right there, and that was pretty much the nail in the coffin for Sublime in that fight there. A good fight there for Yellow Yetis. Both Ant Matrices came out, but now looking at this fight, the Blizzard for Anho is going to be the big difference here. Judge, yeah, does have their Shatter ready to go, but if they miss it, that Blizzard immediately from Anho is going to become the biggest problem for them.
Already back and ready to fight. Neither team has the beats. Here's the Blizzard to get the engage going. Nobody will be frozen. Judge has this Shatter, able to take down Scylla, but Sublime is, it's a 2-for-2 trade actually, and Winter with 2 on the overclock, gonna deal the damage to help Aurora go down and make that 3 final blows for Winter, and they're gonna hold on.
And I was dead wrong about what ultimate was going to be the thing that really opened up in that fight. Winter and that overclock was huge. 3 kills for them in that. Picked up another kill after a nice play coming out from Winter. Judge still holding on to that Shatter now. Apple has their own Blizzard as well. Sublime coming into this fight with not a lot to really support them here. Yellow Yetis look stacked right now to hold on to this point for a while.
On the defense, dropping the Blizzard to cut the Yellow Yetis. To cut Sublime off, sorry. And it's going to freeze J-Man. The Bastion will go down. And a lot of pressure on it to Scylla on this high ground. Futaba drops the beat. Scylla is so low and does not have the same luxury Futaba does with that extra 1,000 HP. But the flux is colossal from Aurora. Anho is going to clean up. And it's just Futaba left on the point. And that will be Sublime winning it in that fight. And they've got a couple ults here.
Yeah, J-Man swapping off with the Baptiste, going over to the Soldier now. Essentially kind of what I thought that would happen from them. They weren't really finding a lot of value with it. They did give up, I believe, the artillery configuration from them there. So kind of a little bit of an ultimate loss there. But hey, Yellow Yetis, after that Blizzard coming out for them and they find J-Man early, I thought that was going to be the opening. But the Shatter now coming out.
What just was that? Angelic moved Judge up onto the lip of the door, and the Shatter went down, and I've never seen anything like that. And because of that, Sublime is gonna take Night Market.
Incredible plays, just incredible plays coming out there from Sublime. You could talk about it, the boop on that Ice Wall there, completely canceling out that Shatter from the Yellow Yetis. They were holding on to that Shatter for a long time. It was something I talked about for multiple fights, saying, hey, they have that Shatter ready to go. This could be something that potentially wins them a fight. But Sublime, they played it everything perfectly, but you have to give a lot of credit to Aurora. That flux there, finding 2, kind of evened everything up in that mid fight there, and allowed them to get going straight back to point, allow them to control the point, and then they never gave it back up because it just seemed like the Yellow Yetis were kind of discombobulated after that.
Getting the replays going on CGL, I like that. But I don't know. Yeah, Sublime just clutched it, right? Great plays at the end there. Futaba hitting a nasty rollout, not gonna find the boots that they probably wanted there. But it will be Sublime getting, or the Yellow Yetis getting to the fight first here. It's gonna be a fight inside of the building over here. Across the point will be a trade. The Bastion's trading supports. It's still 2 for 2. Anho is very, very low in the building over there, and Futaba gonna be able to take it down, and Scylla and Yellow I say Yellow Yetis is going to come out on top of this fight, but it's still a scrappy fight. These trades are coming through, and I mean, still, it's ridiculous. The fight just doesn't ever end. Hammershake able to take down Anho, and with Judge being the last one alive on the point, that will be Sublime taking the point.
Finally, the point gets capped there by some team. It was going back and forth there for a little bit. Sublime, though, coming out on top. And it really came down to the fact that Aurora was able to stay alive through the fight there. Judge died early in the first fight, came back in a little bit late there. Probably not the right play to charge back on the point by themselves there. Futaba tried to do a good job just holding on to the point, but eventually died themselves. But you look at Sublime right now. Aurora, Anho have their ultimates ready to go in this team fight here. You can see Sublime holding on to this point for a while.
Yeah, this White Room fight, and that's going to be a colossal blizzard. It'll freeze up Winter and Hammershank, and I mean, that was just a great play by Anho, and, you know, Futaba tried to get the flip, but, you know, not quite.
Yeah, and again, I talked about Anho there, what that blizzard was. That was the thing you need to watch out for. Now Aurora has their flux here. You're seeing Yellow Yetis scope up on all their ultimates essentially, but you see J-Man, Aurora, Skyla have all their stuff ready to go here. Again, it's going to be really hard for the Yellow Yetis to come into this, because if that Amp Matrix comes up, Judge's shield is going to be melted right away. Hammershank will have to use their own Amp Matrix to kind of counter everything out.
Here is the airstrike from J-Man. What can they find in the White Room? A lot of damage, but no final blows there. Flux out from Aurora. Almost frozen, but, you know, able to get away from the blizzard before the flux gets canceled. The damage has already been done, though, despite losing Anho. I mean, Aurora's flux in that White Room got so much done. Very, very close to a boop there from Angelic. Winter now wanting to drop their own airstrike. It's only going to find Sila's Immortality Field. So this fight is leaning so heavily towards Sublime with a 5v3 and a boop from Angelic, taking Winter off the map. Shatter comes out and only hits J-Man, but it's not enough. And Sublime looking terrifying on map 1 here. It's Futaba able to take down Anho, but it's only Futaba on the point, and the rest of Yellow Yetis now, though, joining up on the point. What can they do with this window? Aurora puts Apple in the dirt. Not going to find the stun on the Hammershank, but the final blow is there. It's 2 for 2. Futaba so dangerously low, and Winter able to find a couple of final blows, and finally Yellow Yetis able to take the fight and a flip.
Yeah, you have to give Winter a lot of credit there. 3 of the kills there. I believe the 4th one should have been theirs, but Judge took it. However, I mean, that's a good fight there for Yellow Yetis. They desperately need to win this fight, because if they can win it, they take us to Control Center, which is the Brawl map, which they love running that Reinhardt. But look at Sublime. 4 ultimates stacked up here. The Pulse Bomb in the beat here for Yellow Yetis will not sustain them through a full-on team fight. They need to play everything smart here, as you already see the artillery strike come out here from J-Man.
Gonna target Hammershank there, switch over to Kiriko. A big stick, gonna hit 2 people, but Immortality Field good to save both Angelic and Sila's life. Sila did drop the window, so I mean, not gonna find much value, and that beat only hits a couple people for the side of Yellow Yetis. The Blizzard is good to control a lot of the space on this point, and I mean, Yellow Yetis are taking so much damage. Judge is just left to spin to win and will go down. So I mean, Winter is the only one left to touch the recall to stay alive. Apple dashes in, the deflect is gone, and that will probably be it. The wall goes away. I mean, they're getting some great touches here for the side of Yellow Yetis, but it's all in desperation. Hammershank goes down, beat comes out from Angelic, as does the Minefield, and that's it. It'll be Sublime taking Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, and Sublime, this was a great map win for them here. I mean, you look at records, they come in as the underdog, and this is a great start for them. Yellow Yetis, they had their moments, but it just really felt like throughout this entire series, or this entire map really, that the Sigma pick for Sublime was kind of doing a little bit better than what we saw from the Reinhardt pick. We never saw a Shatter there on Night Market. We saw one Shatter there on Gardens, and it only did find 2, but an Immortality Field coming out from Sublime kept everyone alive, making sure that Shatter found nothing there. We saw Fluxes come out there from Sublime. They found 2 kills, 2 huge kills on the first point of Night Market. 2 kills, in my opinion, which flipped that point in their favor. And then you saw it come out there towards the end again. Fluxes were just huge for them. So right now, the tank battle is really interesting to look at, but Sublime coming out on top there on that first map. They looked really well-rounded on that first map. Same thing for Yellow Yetis. They just couldn't really get it going.
Yeah, to be honest, at the moment right now, the way that Overwatch currently is on live, I prefer the Sigma in the highest level, right? He just does so much damage from so far away, and if you're gonna play the Reinhardt, I mean, we saw it work a couple of times for Yellow Yetis, where they were able to get up in Sublime's face, but a lot of the times it felt like Sublime was really good at keeping Yellow Yetis at arm's reach, so they're not getting that maximum value out of the Reinhardt. Moving forward, Yellow Yetis needs to adapt, right? Either you have to focus on getting up in Sublime's face even harder than you did before, or you got to change something up.
And yeah, we did see some change up there at the end from them, but that was all really desperation swaps. I have to give Winter a lot of credit. They came in on that Tracer in 1 life, basically won their team a team fight, picked up 3 kills, should have had 4, but you did see the Wrecking Ball take away the 4th one there. And again, Futaba on the Lucio. We saw him play Lucio essentially the entire map there. And, you know, I love seeing a very aggressive Lucio. When it works out great. But we kind of saw at some points there on the Zhang Tower that the very aggressive Lucio just didn't end up working out for them. The Lucio got too far away from the team, not providing them with those speed boosts or the heals that Lucio can provide, and it did hurt them a little bit here. But, you know, as you're just watching the replays here again, I mean, Winter is definitely a standout for me on Sublime here, or Yellow Yetis. They were great on the first map. They did a lot. That they overclocked, you just saw they picked up 3. They got 3 kills with the Tracer when they came back out. It was really great, but everything that Sublime did really just kind of slowed down the Yellow Yetis. That play right there was huge. And like you said there, Fletch, I don't think I've seen that, and if I have, it has been a very long time since I've seen an Ice Wall and a Boop completely cancel out a Shatter. Just great plays coming out here from Sublime, but Fletch, we do know what our next map of this series will be, and hey, it's not a true Overwatch series without King's Row.
I can honestly tell you right now, I think the last like 5 matches I've casted on Lijiang Tower King's Row.
Hey man, shows you they're popular.
Just the classics, right? I mean, you know, it does lean towards that Reinhardt that Yellow Yetis wants to run. And, you know, to your point about Futaba and their aggression, I think that also plays into what I was saying about Yellow Yetis not being able to get into the face of Sublime, right? Without that Lucio speed boost, it's infinitely harder. And, you know, whether or not, you know, Futaba was finding value on their own, you know, finding picks, dueling the other support like we just saw in the replays, you know, you're away from your team. You don't have that. They don't have the speed boost anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. But heading into King's Row here, I mean, King's Row is known for the brawl, but in Overwatch 2, and it's been something that's been changing a little by little, but now at this point, heading into Season 7 here, I mean, you can play a lot of different comps on here. You can see the Sigma come out and dominate still, even against a very brawl-centric team, something like what the Yellow Yetis wants to run, like you mentioned. And that's exactly what you're seeing. Really, you're seeing no big changes out from either team here, and I'm not surprised by that. Yellow Yetis picked this map because it is the perennial brawl map. It is the brawly of all brawl maps. Sublime, they want to run this Sigma comp, and like you said, Sigma right now is in a very good spot, very, very good spot. Aurora looked incredible on the Sigma there. I'm not going to talk about what Yellow Yetis are showing us right now. I don't think they're going to run out with that. I would be very interested to see that, though. But again, the brawl. They want to play the brawl. I would not be surprised with the Rhine. I would not be surprised if they pop out on Orisa. Winter coming out on the Torb would be very interesting, though.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, Judge's gonna switch back over. Okay, yeah, we were getting a little close there. But yeah, it'll be basically full mirror comes minus the tank. Judge and Aurora, you know, donning their signature heroes once again. Sublime speed boosting through the hotel to get a little bit of a flank. It's going to be a great grenade there from Winter to take down Scylla. Judge and the gang are, you know, doing exactly what I said they needed to do, right? You know, the speed boost right into the face of Sublime.
Yeah, and look at this. Yetis finding out Scylla was a huge pick for them. Finding out Aurora now is just staggering them out, and now Anho as well. This will stagger them out, kind of really prevent them from holding at arches. Winter can, I mean, J-Man can try to do their best to just rain in some damage, but it's not going to stop them. That was a great first fight there for the Yellow Yetis, something they desperately needed. Now heading on to the second fight that we're going to eventually see somewhere in Street Phase, you have to start looking at ultimates right now. Hammershank, with that Ant Matrix ready to go, is going to be a big player here. And look at Silas. Ant Matrix, not even at 25% yet. That's because they died so early. Aurora and Anho, though, could go up to their 2 ultimates, and it could be deadly.
It's a great wall to give Sublime a little bit of a time to get away from that window there. You know, an early window from Hammershank and not going to find a value. Sublime, great job hiding that, and that's a great wall from Anho. Once again, that Flux hit 4 people, and Sublime, they find the footing.
Yeah, and like I said, you had to watch out for Aurora and that Flux. They have been big with them all series. Again, so far, right there, huge finds for. And it really came down to the fact that Futaba has not been able to build up a beat. Yeah, Hammershank probably threw down the Immortality Field somewhere to try to save some people, but it was a little bit too late there for anything. But watch out for Anho now and a Blizzard. They could throw it out here right now and immediately start holding at arches like they already are.
They're already up and getting aggro. Blizzard is out from Anho, a great ice block to cancel it out from Apple. Moved back in, actually. The Shatter comes out and hits Aurora and Scylla. And the Reinhardt right now, you know, is strutting his stuff. And, you know, the airstrike is going to come out as well. Not going to find anything. Oof, and I don't agree with that window for Scylla.
I mean, they're staggering the Scylla out here. That is the right play to do. But the window would have been good if J-Man was able to stay alive. And I really did like the play that J-Man had there. They used the artillery configuration there to try to slow down Yellow Yetis so they could actually get some value out of the Ant Matrix. It didn't find any here. But look at the Yellow Yetis now. They have their own artillery configuration. They have a beat. They're going to have a Blizzard and another Ant Matrix here. They have enough ultimates here that this fight should really not be any contest.
4 ultimates in the bank, like you said. And Blizzard's gonna come out from Apple. Does it freeze anybody? No, but it helps take down J-Man. It does actually freeze up Aurora, who is under a lot of duress. That grasp cannot save you from a Judge's hammer.
Team kill there for Yellow Yetis. They had to use 2 of their ultimates there. I don't think the artillery configuration was really needed, but it did kind of force Sublime to play back a little bit, allow that Blizzard to maybe get some value there. They found Aurora only with it, but hey, getting rid of that tank is such a huge part of Overwatch 2. You're seeing some swaps come out now, and you're really seeing J-Man make the swap over to this Ashe here just to have some poke damage, some long-range damage. That Dynamite will come in huge as well.
Hammershank has popped the amplification matrix here early around the corner. Blizzard comes out and Aurora shattered, but it's a great Blizzard. Judge just barely frozen up. I think the toe was barely in the radius, and without Judge, Yellow Yetis is lost, and they're gonna back up.
And looking back at that fight there for the Yellow Yetis, Judge and Futaba use their ultimates. Those are 2 ultimates they would love to have back, especially with Aurora having another Flux coming up here. That is big for them, and now Yellow Yetis really has nothing other than an Immortality Field to try to get them through that.
Yeah. Sublime looking very, very strong in the ultimates department compared to Yellow Yetis at the moment. J-Man building up already pretty close to Bob, having just switched to Ashe. Now the TP from Apple onto the high ground. They're going to get thrown back a little bit. That'll be a kill onto Futaba, and it should be a pick onto Hammershank, and another absolute banger of a Flux from Aurora.
TP came out to really help. I mean, hurt the Yellow Yetis there. You will see him use it to get back into spawn. And however, again, like you said, another huge flux there for Aurora. Led to 3-4 kills there, really ending a team fight before it really even started. Still 3 minutes on the clock for the Yellow Yetis. And you're already seeing Winter start off with their configuration Bob coming out as well.
Bob is thrown out main here. It's just gonna break the teleporter, and Apple, you know, the wall broke right behind them, but they decided to take the long way around. Gets found by Anho, and now the window comes out from Syla, and I mean Sublime wants to put the stamp on it.
They want to try to eat some clock away here at this moment. They still are holding on to this Blizzard here, and I would not be surprised to see him use it very early in this next engagement. Angelic finding Hammershank is huge as well, so no Am Matrix really ready for the Yellow Yetis. They're going to have to slow down, wait for that support to come back. They're coming up to a beat and a Photon Barrier here, but really it's going to come down to the beat for Futaba. How much value can they get out of that? The Am Matrix will kind of force Sublime to fall back a little bit. Again, you have to be watching out for that Blizzard because Sublime is playing very aggressive at the moment.
Anho is behind them and ready to pop this ultimate. Blizzard comes out, and Teleporter is good. It's gonna freeze Judge, though. The beat comes out from Futaba. It doesn't hit Judge, though! The Reinhardt does not get the overhealth, and now it's just a shooting range for Anho right now. They pop the wall, and, you know, those Exo boots can't help you forever, Hammershank.
You can't jump your way out of this one here. The TP, though, was the right play there for the rest of the Yellow Yetis. Now you're seeing some swaps. Judge going off the Rhine for the first time, or for the first time we're not seeing them swap over to the ball. We're seeing them, never mind. They're going back to, what are they doing? Okay, they're going dive now. They're going dive. Winter swapping over to the Tracer, Apple to the Genji, Hammershank over to the Kiriko. They want to play something here. They need to get something going. As you see, a minute left on the clock as the Flux comes out.
Oh my goodness, the Flux comes out. It hits Judge. Judge so very, very low. Aurora taking the positioning on the high ground is gonna find Judge. The Winston now out of this fight, finds Hammershank, and almost certainly will find Apple. Nah, Apple gets into the pub, grabs the Mega. Oh my goodness, well, I stand corrected. Aurora from the ropes.
You ever be blindsided by a rock before?
Yeah, I have. It hurt me real bad.
Yeah, I imagine that's what Apple's feeling like right now. But hey, if you're the Yellow Yetis, that clock is not your friend, and Sublime coming up on 3 ultimates right now. I mean, they have enough ultimates right now to sustain a couple fights and end this round without the Yellow Yetis really getting any card push.
I don't think like, they look so good on the first 2 points, but that card has rolled all the way back to the checkpoint here on C. So, I mean, Sublime's defense has been nothing short of, excuse the pun, but Sublime. The window comes out from Syla a little far forward inside the bubble, and Futaba once again getting punished for the hubris. J-Man with 2 picks there gets found by Apple. The Kitsune Rush from Hammershank is out, but it's not enough to help the rest of the team win this fight. A great rock from Aurora on to Winter, and I mean, it's just the desperation for the side of Yellow Yetis. The Blizzard freezes Judge. That not amplification matrix, but that sound barrier won't help you. They get back. Apple pops the blade, immediately put down though, and I mean, Sublime looking scary on C.
I think Futaba's beat missed Judge again there at the end. But
it didn't. He was just in the Blizzard, and you know, all the burst damage they had, it just didn't matter.
But hey, you have to give Sublime a lot of credit there. Those first 2 points, it seemed like the Yellow Yetis had finally found their step, figured out what they need to do to beat Sublime, and then, honestly, I really have to give a lot of credit to J-Man making that swap there to the Ashe. It seemed like once they swapped there to the Ashe, and not a lot was different, but it seemed like that Ashe swap really did help them out a little bit. That long range damage. You saw the Yellow Yetis bring out the Symmetra, try to get on that high ground, immediately came back to bite them with this Flux that we're seeing here from Aurora, and watch it just turn into 3, 4, 5 kills and a team kill for them. Yellow Yetis, once they got into this point where they were stuck, it seemed like they had completely lost all the momentum they built and were trying to just do anything. You see them make multiple hero swaps, multiple comp swaps. They were basically throwing mud at a wall, hoping something would stick, and it just didn't stick for them there. But hey, they got point A, they got point B. A lot of the times, you don't even need to think about point C here. Yellow Yetis, they are in a very good spot here to even this series up before our first break.
Yeah, and of course it'll be the same compositions coming out from both sides here. The Sigma from Sublime has looked excellent. And you know, Yellow Yetis early on in this map thus far on their attacks looked great. So we'll see which one of these compositions is gonna have their merits shown early in their this attack for Sublime. Sublime hit the rotation, they're on the point, they're gonna get a tick. But, you know, Judge just taking so much damage. The Immortality Field not able to keep Anho alive. So they're down their Mei for the time being. A really, really hard engagement there from Judge. J-Man is able to find a pick onto Judge, but Winter answers with 2 in return. Make that 3 for the Bastion, and I'm not sure what's happening, but it looks like Yellow Yetis is going to take this defense.
Yeah, Yellow Yetis and Sublime kind of both hit each other with that reverse Uno card there, as it really seemed like Sublime was on defense and Yellow Yetis was on offense there, just based off positioning at the start of that. But you see Anno here swapping over to the Widowmaker. They want to try to find an early pick onto Futaba, onto Hammershank, onto Apple. That's why they make this swap here. And in looking at ultimates right now, Hammershank and Syla will have their Amex ready to go here. They're probably doing Amex.
Immortality Field is out from Hammershank early. You know, the damage from J-Man just so high in the window in response from Hammershank. Now, Syla throwing their own airstrike from Winter, not gonna be good for a pick. But you know, the beach is coming out here. Sorry, we're experiencing some technical difficulties, but it looks like Judge could go down here. No, a great Immortality Field from Hammershank to keep the Reinhardt alive. Anho able to find the headshot on to Winter, but it's still going to be Yellow Yetis taking this fight. Wait, Anho popping heads right now. Hammershank goes down. Now Futaba under a lot of under danger, and Syla cleans it up. And now it's just Judge and Apple left alive near the point, and with only 1 tick to go, Sublime going to capture the point. Anho with the heroics.
Yeah, Anho on this Widowmaker, not necessarily a pick you expect to see completely turn around a team fight, but it ends up doing it there. And again, Futaba getting very aggressive, maybe thinking, okay, we can get in there, the Widowmaker's low, we can clean them up. Doesn't work out for them here, and now they can't even hold arches. And this is kind of the same thing we saw Yellow Yetis do on their attack phase here. They were easily able to kind of stagger out some picks there. Finding Judge there last was huge for Sublime. But now you're looking at ultimates here. The Shatter of the Blizzard can get you right back into where Sublime was on the second point defense. Back at Archer here for a moment. You have to find a lot of value with these picks. Aurora, though, that Flux is ready. It needs to be huge, and my bet is it will be huge.
Blizzard is out, but the rest of Sublime... actually, it's 2 people frozen. The Shatter hits 2. The Blizzard freezes 2. The Flux comes out, but it's just too little, too late for Aurora. You know, really the first miscue that they've had with that ultimate.
Yeah, and honestly, Futaba was so close to booping all 3 members of Sublime who are frozen out of that shatter there. Judge, though, still able to find 2. And that does, like I said, kind of allow Yellow Yetis here to try to hold arches. It looks like they want to try to hold Spawn instead. The beat in the Amex, though, ready for Sublime. Watch out for those as they're going to try to use them and maybe get them some space.
Yeah, and the Bastion on the high ground, a scary prospect, sorry, for just about anybody, but Sublime's on the point. I don't know who's fighting with them on the point, but I mean, they put the pressure on the point, and I mean, Futaba goes down, and it's just a stagger like we saw earlier on the Syla. Hammershank very, very accurate with this burst rifle, but they're gonna get the stagger.
Yeah, if I'm J-Man, I'm kind of talking to my team like, hey, guys, what the heck? Here, Hammershank should not have been able to kill them there, but hey, good pick there by Hammershank. You do see Angelic have to go back to taxi them here. You do see the artillery configuration come out here from Winter, but look at Sublime right now. Blizzard will be able to get them through this fight. Same thing with an Matrix.
By the way, Aurora is already 75% to another Gravitic Flux. The Blizzard is good for 2 picks here. Judge goes down, Futaba follows, and a rock to put Apple in the dirt, and now Sublime is staring at that gold box of victory.
And 3.5 minutes here, about the same amount of time that Yellow Yetis had. Yellow Yetis, they need to make some swaps like Sublime did on this final point here to really get them any kind of chance here. You do see the artillery and the flux ready. Can Aurora redeem themselves here? And honestly, it's gonna be huge because there's really nothing to stop it other than an immortality field for the Yellow Yetis.
Yeah, no B to no shatter this time. The flux comes out, it's gonna kill Judge. Judge goes down, and it's gonna be a combo between Aurora and J-Man, and that will do it for Kings Row. Sublime, they're in at match point.
A great play there from Sublime, but you all have to credit it back to their 3rd-point defense on Yellow Yetis. They made some swaps and completely shut down what the Yellow Yetis wanted to do. Yeah, on the first point, it was kind of shaky there for a moment. Sublime lost the fight, and I was starting to think, okay, Yellow Yetis has figured something out. They're playing this right, but Anho coming back out on the Widowmaker was the main difference on that first point. Finding 2 picks, and then finding Futaba, who thought they were going to come up there and easily 1v1 a very low health Widowmaker, and just not able to do that there. Anho was the main difference there, in my opinion, for Sublime there on Kings Row.
Yeah, I mean, burst that whole defense or attack wide open. I mean, just great plays on the Widowmaker, but Aurora continues to dominate on the Sigma. I mean, I said it before the match. I feel like Sigma's probably the best choice for the highest rank, or the highest tier of play. And we're seeing Aurora. Like, you see it right here. We saw it in Play the Game. We're seeing it once again here. I mean, Aurora, only one, questionable choice with the Gravitic Flux. And, I mean, just been so consistent, great with those spears. The accuracy has been excellent. And, I mean, everybody from the side of Sublime has picked up their weight. You see J-Man right there in the replay on the Ash. 1v1ing Futaba back here on point C. And, that switch there is, one of the big choices that they made that helped them lock down on point C. I mean, Sublime just looks scary. For Yellow Yetis, it's going to be tough for them to find their footing here against the Sigma. But they'll have an opportunity in map 3, their map choice, but that will be after we come back from the break. So stick around, and we'll see if the favorites can finally find something.
But you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side. My love, you say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna try,
Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yours.
All right, welcome back, everybody. I mean, we've got a bit of an upset alert here in this match here. Sublime, generally speaking, at least you and I had thought, they're the underdogs in this match. Only 5-3 during the regular season. Yellow Yetis 7-1, but it's Sublime that's sitting at 2-0, and Yellow Yetis are staring down the barrel.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to really focus it down on the tank battle, in my opinion. Me and you were talking a little bit about it over that break there, Aurora and Judge. They have both been doing very well for their team so far, but Aurora has always been getting the upper hand. It really comes down to, in my opinion, how much value they've gotten out of their ults. The flux for Aurora on that Sigma have been huge compared to what we have seen with Judge and the Shatters with Reinhardt.
Yeah, I mean, Aurora has just looked so monstrously good on the Sigma. Both maps, right? I mean, clutch flux after clutch flux on both Lijiang and King's Row. I mean, Yellow Yetis, they just can't figure out the Sigma. I mean, I hope that for their sakes, because they're a good team, like I said, they're 7-1 on the season. I hope for their sakes that they can adapt. But if it's gonna start, it's gonna have to start on our next map, which is going to be who could have guessed, Suravasa.
Who could have guessed? I mean, we could have guessed. We didn't know what the map was before we saw it right here. We could have guessed it was going to be Suravasa. Suravasa is by far the favorite of the two Flashpoint maps here. And again, we could see a lot of different comps. I feel like when Flashpoint first came out, it was all about the rush comps. But ever since, week by week, it starts to change into different things. We're seeing the Brawl kind of come back in, Poke coming in as well. I do not expect to see either team kind of swap up from what they have been running so far. So Yellow Yetis, they're going to be running the Reinhardt. Sublime going to be running that Sigma, which has been dominant for them so far. The only team I could see making a swap would be the Yellow Yetis, because that's only because we have seen Judge in desperation picks here, or desperation moments, swap over to the Wrecking Ball. And they did play Winston a little bit on King's Row, but they never found the value that they probably were looking for with it. They were trying to maybe get into the back line there, and they just were never able to get past the front line. That's how good the Sublime's front line has been so far. But again, heading into Suravasa here, their backs are up against the wall here. Cannot drop another map in this series, or they get knocked down to the lower bracket. And this would be an upset. And you look at everything here. Records are records for a reason. Sublime comes into this one with the lower record, or the worst record, 5-3 compared to 7-1. But hey, we're heading in here now. I really do think we're not going to see anything different from these two teams.
Yeah, we are seeing a little bit of a substitution here for Sublime. It's going to be Z Panther coming in to play that support. So maybe wanting to do something a little bit different here.
Yeah, remember how I said I didn't expect to see any changes? Yeah, they heard me. Yeah, they.
Everything has changed.
Everything has changed, but you know, other than the supports for Yellow Yetis, Futaba and Hammershank not making any swaps here. Sublime though, if they come out on this comp here, honestly, I feel like it would truly catch the Yellow Yetis off guard. I feel like Yellow Yetis will kind of catch Sublime off guard by coming out with the Sigma. They're fully, in my opinion, expecting the Sigma duel, but I don't think they're not gonna get that here. Aurora coming out on this Doomfist is gonna be able to get in that backline very fast, be able to get in and out of fights.
Accretion comes out from Judge, goes just a little bit wide on the Doomfist there. The Genji battle on top of this wall, going crazy up there. Joined shortly by Futaba and taken down by Judge Izanhu. And, you know, they're down at their Genji, so the dive a little bit weaker now. Aurora opting to just punch out and wait to regroup, but Winter is happy to put Angelic down with a railgun there, and I'm not sure where that punch went.
Let's just say it went into the void. But honestly, after this first fight here, I would not be shocked to see Sublime make swaps. I don't think the Doomfist necessarily is finding the value you want. They're going to stick with it here again. Z Panther on the Moira. They want to be a little bit fast here. Their entire team is all about speed. You can see Z Panther just kind of, you know, I forget what the name of the ability is, kind of ghost their way through the point here. Angelic can teleport, Z-Man and Anho can just get to places very fast here. They want to play fast. Yellow Yetis, though, it's all about shutting down that speed.
Great rock there for Judge there, but it's going to be Anu that starts it off here. Great tracking from J-Man on Hammershank, but the Immortality field just a little too quick for the Tracer here. They do not have that luxury anymore, and Futaba does go down here. The punch, you know, a little bit wide there on Hammershank, but Z Panther on that Moira. Coming in for the first time, making a bit of a play, and at 99%, Sublime's going to take it.
Yeah, and one thing I want to point out here is look at the difference in ultimates for the two tanks. Aurora, even with losing a team fight, has their ultimate ready. Judge, not even up to 70% here. Yellow Yetis, other than Futaba and Apple here, are very far away from their ult. And you're seeing Sublime here. They want to play aggressive.
Yeah, this is what the Doomfist gives you, that, I mean, you need to get out of jail free card. That is the Meteor Strike right there. You know, power block. The Doomfist, very, very fast. J-Man has this. Oh my god, what a stick! And what a kill onto Hammershank! Walking around the corner, no look stick from J-Man.
And look at what happens right after that. One domino falls, the rest will fall right after that. Sublime playing that one perfectly there. A team kill. Yellow Yetis, though, coming up on 3 ultimates. Sublime has 3 as well. So if Yellow Yetis want to try to force another fight on this first point, they easily can, especially with all the ultimates they have here. And it looks like that's what they're going to try to do.
Before the Dragon Blade comes out, and they're able to take down Futaba. The Flux in response. It's going to be a 2-for-3 trade, but it's not enough, and Market goes towards Sublime.
And because of all those ultimates that came out there from both sides, Yellow Yetis completely forgot about the point. Apple could have bladed, dashed through, and been able to go straight to point, but instead they wanted to fight there. And I'm not saying that's the reason they lost the fight, but it's definitely one of the reasons they lost that first point here. Ultimates came out from every side there. Winter does have their overclock. We did see them get a lot of success out of that on Lijiang Tower. If they can find 1 or 2 early picks here, especially before the flashpoint opens with this overclock, it will be a difference maker.
Yeah, as the battle ensues here on a Palace, it'll be Apple being able to take down Anhu, and Judge switching over to the Junker Queen. Winter under a lot of pressure by Aurora, and gonna be finished off by the orb of Z Panther, and Hammershank is so so low, and it's not going to be enough for the Yellow Yetis. It's gonna be a flip here and a fight here for Sublime, and they're going to take the first flip on Palace.
I feel like Yellow Yetis could have captured the point there. Hammershank, though, decided to get off it like with literally 95% towards cap here. Maybe that was a strategic play for them, knowing they had lost the fight. But again, I feel like having the percentage is better than having no percentage here. Winter's still holding on to this Ammetric, but J-Man, again, one pulse bomb kill opened up everything for them the last time they used it. I'm going to look for that same thing here again. What a huge punch coming out from Aurora.
Yeah, Futaba getting thrown against the wall, and everybody just falls like dominoes on the side of Yellow Yeti. Sublime looking terrifying on a new comp now.
And look at that, Winter popped the overclock in that fight and immediately got it canceled out there by Sublime. And J-Man still holding on to this pulse bomb. Remember, like I said last time I spoke, they found the pick on to Hammershank, who was at the time playing that back piece, and they found them, and it was one domino led to another domino led to another. But you're going to see the Kitsune Rush come out here early from Hammershank this time.
And it's going to help them take down Anhu and Judge. And I mean, everybody just walks in off the side, off the use of that Kitsune Rush. And, you know, finally Yellow Yetis will find their first little bit of footing in a minute here on Surabasa.
And hey, that was a really good fight for them. One ultimate used, one team fight, one for them point capped in their favor. They are coming up on all these ultimates right now. The Beat, the Rampage, and the Blade can easily win you fight. Hammershank finding a huge pick there onto Z Panther, but Sublime, they're coming up on some ultimates as well. The Blade, the Beat, the Blade, their own Kitsune Rush, and a Pulse Bomb that J-Man has still been holding on to. They are waiting for a target to use that on. They're going to use it now, but don't find anyone. So crisis averted for now for the Yellow Yetis. Now you have these three ultimates. Just play it smart, and you will be able to get this point to even up the map.
I mean, 3 ultimates in the bank, and Apple is able to take down J-Man. The Tracer is out of the question here. Angelic not able to get away from the Dragon Blade from Apple, and it's going to be cutting it really, really close here on Palace. The Yellow Yetis, though, looking to make a stand.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Sublime can still get back and touch the point here. Aurora on this Doomfist can fly across the map if they want to. If you're Yellow Yetis, do you use ultimates here to try to stop them? The Rampage comes out, but it doesn't stop them.
It takes down Anho with that impact damage. Coalescence hasn't been used, and the Beat in response from Futaba. Winter, who was on the Tracer, had to go down there to J-Man, or didn't have to, but definitely did. But now we see Angelic fighting Futaba in the backline. Apple joins the Lucio player to help take down the Kiriko. And, you know, the Yellow Yetis, they're looking a little bit, you know, low HP, and Anhu popping the Dragon Blade, going to help them take this fight potentially. Futaba very, very low. And Aurora not on the point. Winter went down to J-Man, and Palace goes to Yellow Yetis.
A very, very scrappy fight from both sides. They're Sublime maybe thinking they should not have lost that one there, but Winter coming and finding a huge pick onto J-Man, and then finding Aurora there at the end. And look, they have the point advantage. They have spawn advantage. Yellow Yetis could meet Sublime a little bit early if they want to try to force a fight before the point opens up here. But look at Sublime. They're coming into this fight with their Pulse Bomb and another Meteor Strike. All Yellow Yetis has is a Pulse Bomb and a Kitsune Rush of their own here. They have to play very more defensively. If you're the Yellow Yetis, Sublime can be a lot more aggressive because of the ultimates they have.
Yeah, Sublime ready to take this fight on Garden here. Kitsune Rush out from Hammershank. Pulse Bomb from J-Man, not gonna find a target here. I mean, that's a lot of damage onto Hammershank.
Oh no!
Aurora able to fly back onto the point, and J-Man able to drop Apple. I mean, a great pick there from the Tracer, but Yellow Yetis, they did take the first capture here on Garden, so they're happy to draw out this fight as long as they have to. Aurora slamming back in. Futaba very, very low, able to get around the corner, get that healing. Coalescence now popped by Z Panther, and Angelic with that dangerous headshot from Kiriko, able to take down Judge, and with that, the rest of Yellow Yetis will fall.
Yeah, and you might have heard me kind of wince there when Futaba popped that beat. I felt like at that point they didn't necessarily need it. They used it a little bit too early in a fight that didn't necessarily matter, as Sublime was kind of backing out to regroup. quickly there, and they could have held on to that beat right there and used it when everyone started to die, and maybe held on to the point a little bit longer here. But you're looking at the ultimates now, the Blade, the Pulse Bomb, and the Rampage all online here for the Yetis. That could easily win them fights, but J-Man and Angelic do have their 2 ultimates ready to go, so it's going to be really interesting to see what ultimates come out to countering each other.
Here's the Rampage out from Judge. Angelic dropping the Kitsune Rush as well, but Apple and Judge go to work with their ultimates, and I mean Sublime looking worse for wear here, and Yellow Yeti's gonna take the flip. I mean, 2 ultimates there for the Yellow Yetis, but Sublime doesn't have anything really coming in.
Well, Sublime also used their own Kitsune Rush and Pulse Bomb in that fight and found nothing there. So again, yeah, they're about to have a Meteor Strike and a Blade. Those have been 2 big ultimates in the past. We've seen Apple get a lot of value out of the Blade, and Anho has gotten the value as well. The Pulse Bomb coming out, not going to be able to find anyone, but it does force up the Suzu here. So maybe Sublime will have to play a little bit slower waiting for that, but here comes the Meteor Strike.
Beat in response by Futaba. Not going to find any damage with it. It will keep Aurora alive. They do get the touch, but J-Man is going to be able to find Hammershank. They're not going to let the Wick burn it down this time. But Apple and Judge once again taking over the fight, and Yellow Yetis are going to take Gardens.
Even with Yellow Yetis losing both their supports there was such a key play that happened there. Hammershank got that Kitsune Rush out in time, and that really led to everyone on Yellow Yetis having that advantage there. Just the speed that the Kitsune Rush provides you really helped them get all those kills there. Big plays coming out from both sides there, a lot of ultimates as well. Really, the only thing ready coming into this next engagement will be this Coalition, and J-Man will be able to build up to a Pulse Bomb. So right now, Sublime does have this little bit of an ult advantage here, and they can play smart and maybe try to find an early pick as well, but Yellow Yetis have been really good at getting these first point caps.
Judge very, very low already, but Hammershank, had to use that cleanse early, and without it, goes down there to Enhu, and I mean, the rest of Yellow Yetis follows in tail, and that will be Sublime taking the first fight and flip on Ruins.
Yeah, taking the first fight there, not having to use any ultimates as well. And hey, they found the supports out for Yellow Yetis early, so they were not able to really build up a lot of ult charge there. They're coming up on the Pulse Bomb. They're going to have that ready. The Blade will probably also be ready for Apple as well here, but Sublime, they have ultimates right now to kind of sustain through that. That Cold Lesson from Z Panther will have to be used more for healing than for damage when they use it this time.
Ooh, the Suzu is out now for Hammershank, and the Coalescence comes out, and eat your words here, Dexatron. The Kiriko goes down to the Coalescence, and I mean, only the Coalescence used there for Sublime, so, all in all, not expensive at all.
Not expensive at all. And hey, I'm fine with eating my words. Z Panther used it at a really perfect time, caught the Yellow Yetis off guard. You saw Hammershank a little bit away from the rest of their team there, had to use the Suzu only on themselves. But hey, look at it now. Apple, Judge, gonna have their ultimates ready. Same thing though, J-Man and Aurora have theirs, and Judge will be able to build up to their own Kitsune Rush here. So right now, Sublime has ultimates that will sustain them through fights. It just comes down to what Apple gets out of this Blade.
Here's the Blade coming out. Angelic able to swift step away from danger. The Blade re-sheathed here, but Futaba's going to be able to take out J-Man. The Meteor Strike comes out. It's a 1-for-1 trade here, but Yellow Yetis will take that. Angelic able to find the headshot on it to Apple. The Rampage misses every single inch of everybody here on the Ruins, and Winter is able to take down Angelic. But I mean, Winter, I stand corrected. Winter trying to keep this alive. Winter with 3! J-Man is able to take down Futaba, but Winter, despite the heroics of the Tracer, they're not going to be able to keep it alive, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, we've seen Winter do it once before back on Lijiang Tower. Could not do it here again. And if you're Yellow Yetis, you're looking at maybe your upper bracket run ending here on this map. It comes all down to this point here. And he used a lot of ultimates in that last fight. Ones that I don't think need to be needed, as Anho already finds one with their Blade.
Yeah, the first fight here on Temple is going to be Anhu starting off with the Dragon Blade on to Hammershank. Kiriko no longer here, and Sublime will more than likely take this first flip while the Yellow Yetis are trying to regroup, but we see Anhu here trying to get a little bit of a flank. The point unlocks now. Still not in possession of Sublime, but now we're seeing the support ultimates come out from Coalescence for the side of Sublime. Kitsune rush for the side of Yellow Yetis, and Anhu is able to take down Apple, but it's a trade of Genjis here. Winter taking down Anhu. I mean, it's went in the way of Sublime the pointed, so they're already at 30%, and J-Man with the great tracking there onto Hammershank, able to take down the Kiriko. You know, everybody getting so low. That seismic slam gonna put Futaba in the dirt, and Aurora to finish it off with 3, already at 60% just about.
And you're gonna see Sublime here get very aggressive. Apple has to get out of here. The Suzu or the teleport coming out there from Hammershank will kind of force them all back here. 70% on count though for Sublime. Yellow Yetis have the pulse bomb. Gonna have a beat, gonna have a rampage here. They have ultimate that could win team fights, but you look at Sublime, the pulse bomb could instantly end anything that they want to try to do. The pulse bomb does come.
No
Aurora?
way!
Aurora? This is your opening for Yellow Yetis. This is your go button. Go.
Aurora careening off the map, the axe swinging through Angelic, gonna take down the Kiriko, and you know they don't have those people, and you know dot is right, Aurora. You had the opportunity to put the nail in the coffin, but you know Z Panther doesn't want to give it up just yet. The beat from Futaba is going to be invested as Apple dashes through Panther. Winter gonna be able to take down J-Man in the Tracer duel, and Yellow Yetis will breathe a sigh of relief here.
And if you're the Yetis here, look at your ultimates. You have a Blade, you have a Rampage, you have a Kitsune Rush here. Winter will be able to build up to their Pulse Bomb here fast. They need to just use these ultimates smartly here, because if you lose a team fight, hey, you lose the map. The series is over as well. Sublime, they have a Blade, they're about to have a Pulse Bomb, they have the Kitsune Rush, and they're about to have a Meteor Strike as well. Sublime right now in a good spot here, but they are playing it a little bit slow, and essentially this is coming down to be final fight territory.
Dueling Kitsune rushes in, his Hammershank able to take down Angelic. The Dragon Blade comes out from Anhu, but Winter able to take out the Genji. The Rampage coming out for Judge, and that's gonna do it. I mean, it'll still be Aurora on the point with the Meteor Strike, but has no HP. Overtime, the Wick burns away. Angelic able to get a touch here, but it's not enough. Yellow Yetis going to try and start the reverse sweep here on Surabasa.
It comes down to the final point. It comes down to a final fight. 99% to 0 was it there. Yellow Yetis needed a fight desperately. They got it. And you want to know where it all kind of started? It started with one mistake. One huge mistake. Aurora falling off the map. And sometimes that's all a team needs, is just one small hope. And that right there was Aurora falling off the map. You saw the Yellow Yetis just completely take control of it there and never let go. You also have to kind of wonder why Sublime decided to try to play that fight slow there. The Kitsune Rush came out from both Kirikos there. Again, playing it slow on Flashpoint, I don't think is the name of the game. Unless you're 100% positive, you're going to win the fight there. But it was a couple of huge picks coming out from the Yellow Yetis that started that fight that pretty much let us know that there was no way Sublime was going to be able to fight their way back in it.
Yeah, and one other thing that I noticed, we talked about it a little bit, you know, before the break and during the break. I think that one of the biggest problems that Yellow Yetis was having during those first 2 points was that Futaba was never with the team, right? You know, dueling people in the back line by themselves, right? I think we saw in Surabasa, you know, we still saw Futaba's signature aggression on that Lucio. But, you know, Futaba spent more time with the Yetis, you know, with that speed boost that helped him out on the jumper team. And they weren't sending Futaba in alone. I saw a couple of times Futaba was diving, and you know, Apple joined Futaba to take down like Kiriko or you know, somebody else. So they weren't leaving Futaba alone in the backline, and I think that changed the entire pace of this match. They were able to get more value out of Lucio's speed boost. They were able to get more value out of Futaba and, you know, their dominant previous aggression that they're known for on the Lucio. So a great adaptation for Yellow Yetis on Surabasa.
And you also do have to give Judge a lot of credit there. They swapped over to the Junker Queen. I think that was the right play for them, especially with how the rest of their team was kind of set up, wanting to play fast. I feel like coming out on the Sigma doesn't necessarily lead or lend to that a lot. Going over to the Junker Queen really did help them out a little bit there, but it was very close there. You have to admit that. It was 2-2 going on to that final point. Sublime got up 9-0. And like I kind of mentioned, one mistake let Yellow Yetis back into it there, and then Sublime decided to play it a little bit slow, and I just wasn't necessarily sure that was the right play coming out from them. And at the end of the fight, end of the day, end of the map, it wasn't the right play, but I feel like it's one that if Sublime had back, they'd probably do again. But hey, we have ourselves a series now. Going into break, Fletch, me and you were kind of thinking, whew, we could have our first upset here, and it'd be a sweep, but hey, we do know what our next map of the series will be, and it will be Esperanza.
Yeah, another one of those maps where you can just about do whatever you want, and I think clearly that is what these teams are leaning more towards, right? We saw for the first time Yellow Yetis on Saravasa come out with something a little different. It was still a rush, but it was the Junker Queen rush. I think I favor the Junker Queen over the Reinhardt on Esperanza. I don't know about you, Dex, but I think that, you know, the Junker Queen, if that's what, you know, Yellow Yetis wants to come out here on, but it was Sublime's map pick, so I do think that they want to go back to the Sigma, which is another excellent pick here on Esperanza.
And Esperanza, I mean, most of the push maps do lend themselves to a lot of different comps. If we would have gone to maybe something like New Queen Street, I feel like we would have definitely seen a reason why Sublime wanted to bring us there. But I feel like we're going to go back to what we saw in the majority of the first two maps here. Sublime running that Sigma comp. That looks so good. Yellow Yetis going back to the Reinhardt here. Maybe the Orisa. I feel like Orisa is a little bit better than Ryan on these push maps, just by taking space and being able to pump out a lot more damage here. But I'm not going to talk about that. Sublime, Aurora actually teasing us with the Reinhardt here. Okay, I guess I have to talk about it now. Yellow Yetis. I truly don't think Judge is going to come out on the Wrecking Ball. I think they're just having some fun. Same thing with Winter here. Actually, Yellow Yetis felt like they might have found something here. Maybe with this Junker Queen, they felt like they found something that shut down Sublime, but Sublime, they're coming out with essentially the Spitfire comp here. They want to try to get in the backline. They want to try to use the Symmetra Teleporter to great success to try to confuse the Yellow Yetis a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, basically Sublime is picking up what the Yellow Yetis were doing on the first couple of maps. Yetis, like I said, this map I do favor the Junker Queen over the Reinhardt. Junker Queen goes in. It's a great cleanse to help keep Judge alive for a little while, but it's going to be a trade of the tanks here. But Angelic is going to put Sublime up by one here with a pick on to Futaba. J-Man putting Hammershank down, and that will be Sublime taking the first fight and getting the bot moving.
And Winter escaping with 2 HP is a big play for them there. And really, it all just comes down to how much damage can Sublime put out. J-Man on this Bastion can just pump in damage. Apple can only deflect so much and for so long, and Winter is so close yet so far away. You had an amazing play, able to keep yourself alive there, but hey, the fight's breaking out, Fletch.
Yeah. Well, as fast as it started breaking out, it might be over. I mean, that Fire Strike early on in the fight onto Winter, I mean, it just evaporated any chance that Yellow Yetis had to win that fight.
Yeah, and if you're the Yellow Yetis, you have, in my opinion, about one more team fight here before you really consider making swaps. And it looks like Sublime wants to just get these forward spawns and then just fall back. We see this a lot at higher levels, and sometimes, and mostly Overwatch League, where you would see the forward spawns get capped, and then the team would just teleport back. But the Sooner Rush coming out here from Hammershank early, Sublime gonna teleport away from it.
Yeah, that was a great play from Anhu, who was able to just throw the TP down right at the edge of the kit rush and get Aurora out of the danger zone. The bot is going a little bit back towards the Yellow Yeti's barrier, but Sublime will not give up yet. The window comes out to deflect onto Apple, from Apple. Gonna, you know, push away the Genji, but J-Man behind the window on the Bastion, going to find 2 picks here, and Hammershank under a lot of pressure, trying to run away. It's just not enough, and Sublime will take that close spawn back, and they're going to get pushing on the second half.
And I want you to start looking at this right now. Ultimates for each side. We're going to have 4 coming into this next fight here. It's going to be a heavily invested ult fight. Sublime starting to push the bot again. This is the right play for them here. But you look at Sublime right now. A lot of their ultimates are going to be used to stun or just kind of get Yellow Yetis away from the point.
Yeah, Yellow Yetis building up to 4 ultimates, as are Sublime. What can Aurora do with this Earth Shatter? We will see here. You know, TP gonna try and keep the Reinhardt safe here. Just to get out of jail free card for Aurora if they want it. The wall comes out for Anhu. Aurora though able to take down the Hammer Shank first. With the loss of the Bastion, Futaba has to drop the beat, but it's a 2-for-1 trade. Make that 2-for-2. Judge is able to take down J-Man. The Shatter comes out. It hits both. And the Hammer of Aurora, you know, a Sigma player that we've seen all day, you know, played Doomfist last map, but looking dangerous on the Reinhardt.
Yeah, and honestly, I was going to say, after that fight, a lot of ultimates came out. Yellow Yetis making some swaps. Judge going over to the Sigma now. Apple sticking on, going over to the Bastion. I like this. They need to try to melt down the shield for Aurora. It opens up a lot of space if they're able to do that. No ultimates other than Winter's Overclock and the Amage for Hammershank here. So, Yellow Yetis, if you need to win a fight here, this is your fight to win. You need to use these 2 ultimates to great success. Find a lot of value out of them.
Yeah, they have because they do have those 2 ultimates, 2 very, very impactful ultimates, especially with Bastion. In the face of a Reinhardt, that's a great job taking cover from Aurora, but Winter is able to find J-Man with the overclock. Panther evens it up with a pick on Futaba, but I mean, it looks like the Yellow Yetis are, well, as I say that, Angelic makes it a 2-for-2 trade. Aurora under a lot of pressure on the, able to take down Judge! Apple gets the headshot onto Aurora, but I mean, that should have been an easy pick for Judge, and it's just Futaba left, and I mean, what kind of a fight was that?
Judge needed to have someone else come with them there to help clean up Aurora there. A misplay coming out from the Yetis only is the benefit of Sublime here. And you're looking at the ultimates right now. Do a team fight on its own, and hey, you already found Futaba.
Yeah, the Lucio duel goes in the way of Angelic this time, but Judge is going to even it up with a pick on it to J-Man here, so you're not going to have that airstrike anymore. Window coming out from Z Panther. Aurora has the Earth Shatter, but more than likely will not feel the need to use it as they cut down Judge, but the rest of Yellow Yetis is busy cutting down Sublime.
You lose Apple there, you find Angelic. This won't be enough to reset the spawns for Sublime or for Yellow Yetis here, but you needed to get this. You needed to have a team fight win. You needed that desperately. You're coming up on a lot of ultimates of your own here. Sublime will have 3. You have to be able to stand or withstand through those, and you immediately see Aurora here. Just charge right in the TP out from Winter there to get everyone away. Now, Yellow Yetis, this is your fight. You need to win it here. Time is not on your side. You're already less than 4 minutes, and you're seeing the artillery come out.
Out for Apple, gonna find the Z Panther's immortality field. And once again, Aurora posted up in this corner with an Earth Shatter. And it's going to be Jan that comes out, and the Earth Shatter hits 2. Winter was very, very low, helped by that beat from Futaba, and Judge will be able to find Aurora with the Flux. A bit of a change in the story here with Judge doing the fluxing. But J-Man gonna put this fight away for Sublime. 3 for the Bastion.
Not what you want to see if you're Yellow Yetis. You got Aurora out early, but you just couldn't get rid of Bastion there of J-Man. Now you have an Amp Matrix here. Z Panther's gonna have an Amp Matrix as well. I don't think we're gonna see dueling Amp Matrix, and you're seeing what Sublime's doing here. They're just gonna fall back, regroup. They don't have to push this barrier any far forward than what it already is. Yellow Yetis, they have a 105-meter deficit here with less than 3 minutes to go.
Judge happy to take the duel. We'll see if it's too late though. J-Man is behind the Yellow Yetis right now, and they're going to be able to find 2 here early, but Judge evens it up. J-Man though continues to put on a show on the Bastion right now, and I mean, I think that was 3 for J-Man in that fight, and the lead continues to grow ever more cavernous.
If I'm J-Man, I'm actually mad at Aurora there. They had 4 before that final pick there. They could have had an ace, but 2 minutes coming up here for Yellow Yetis. Again, they need to get something going here, and it all starts with winning one team fight and being able to reset the spawns here, but you have no ultimates right now. Anho and Aurora will be able to build to their ultimates here, so again, it's going to be a very dry fight. Finding an early pick is the name of your game here. You need to be able to find it, and with how Judge is playing, hey, but look at that. An early pick on the J-Man.
Yeah, Apple finally finding the better of J-Man in the Reinhardt duel, but the bot is being taxied back to the barrier by the rest of Sublime. Winter TP's up to that mini high ground right behind Aurora, melts down the Reinhardt and got counterpinned. And hopefully, for the sake of Yellow Yetis, they're going to be able to find some footing here, because it's getting sketchy.
I don't know if they're going to be able to reset the spawns here. Z-Panther has to use that health burst to keep themselves alive, but Futaba could be able to find there, and that will give them the spawns reset here. Yellow Yetis, 124 meters down, 115 on the clock. Time is not on their side. They have to win multiple team fights in a row here.
No! Angelic on the Lucio, coming in so clutch, throwing Judge off the high ground. The shatter goes into the shield of Judge there from Aurora, but it almost just doesn't matter. J-Man got very, very low, able to stay alive here, but Judge actually going to find the fire strike on it to Aurora. The shield getting very, very low. J-Man actually thrown up into the skybox, it looks like, but Yellow Yeti slowly but surely, they're going to inch this fight out.
But here's the biggest problem for that one. It was a very costly fight, especially with losing Judge there. Someone's going to have to go back and taxi Judge. It's going to have to be Futaba to go back there, try to get them back in this fight quickly. Again, everything Sublime here. They don't necessarily need to touch the card. They just need to make sure Yellow Yetis aren't touching it here. And you're starting to see Angelic get very aggressive. And see Panther finding Hammer Shank out.
Yeah, Angelic able to, stay alive here and keep this fight going. And Z, Panther, J-Man, and Anhu, these picks, they just keep coming. And with 5 seconds on the clock, make that 0. Sublime takes the upset against the Yellow Yetis 3-1. And on map 4, they said, we can do what you do, but better. They looked dangerous on everything they played today.
Absolutely hitting it there with the perfect analogy of anything you can do, I can do better. And that was honestly like what they did here. They played the Reinhardt comp to perfection. Like I said, they're kind of playing a little bit of this London Spitfire comp that we saw them run. The teleporters there came out clutch. They always provide a lot of value, made sure people got in and out of fights safely. And again, the 124 meter lead that they had was the biggest thing that Yellow Yetis had to look up to. But at the same time, you have to really look at it. After Sublime got the forward spawns, it wasn't until a minute 15 that they lost those forward spawns.
Yeah, it was just a dominant performance from Sublime. At some point, on a push map especially, you don't have to finish the map, right? 124 meters to 0 with a minute left on the clock, that'll do it for you. You can play defensively. You don't have to get creative anymore. You've got the lead, you've got the win, and they're going to move on. And with that, Yellow Yetis, they're going to fall to the losers bracket here. What a performance from Sublime. The Sigma compositions on the first 2 maps looked stellar. The Doomfist, it looked good on Suravasa. They easily could have taken Suravasa to make this a sweep, but a couple of missteps led Yellow Yetis to being able to take Suravasa to take us to a map 4, and then anything you can do, I can do better. And Sublime came out on the Reinhardt rush that Yellow Yetis ran on the first 2 maps, and looked excellent.
And maybe you could talk about Yellow Yetis sticking on the Jungle Queen comp they ran at the start of Suravasa. Maybe a little bit too long. They want to get those ultimates off. That was the biggest thing. Sometimes you just have to say, I'm 85% to an ult, but this just isn't working. But hey, Their playoff run is not over yet. They just dropped down to the lower bracket now. But hey, you have to give Sublime a lot of credit in here. We talked about it. They came in as the underdogs, getting an upset here. But that will pretty much wrap it up for us here on CGL1. Stick around. We're going to raid CGL2, where there is another series that is about to get started right here, right now. But hey, in about 30 minutes time at 8:30, CGL1 will be back on with another game. I believe it'll be Danger Close 2 versus Borealis, Fletch. But Fletch, it was great casting with you, man. Sign us off.
Yeah, a great match here between Sublime and Yellow Yeti. Sublime looking great, and I wouldn't want to face him later in this bracket, but that's gonna do it for us for right now. It's actually gonna be me and Dex here for this doubleheader on CGL1, so we'll be back with the Danger Close Borealis match in about half an hour. So we'll head over to CGL2. And once that match is done, maybe saunter back over here to CGL1, watch another match. So thank everyone here for watching, and we'll see y'all in just a little bit.